Great to have you here. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing good. Thanks very much.
Cool. So I'm a really big fan of Love Hemp, and I would love to hear the story. How did you get into this space, and how did you come up with Love Hemp?
Sure. So Love Hemp was founded in 2015 by myself and my good friend Thomas Rowland. We actually came across CBD, or rather Tom did, when his dad unfortunately passed. So Tom was looking for alternative treatments and remedies to support that situation, started doing a lot of research into cannabis, and this brought his attention to CBD. We saw the story of Charlotte's Web and all the incredible things that CBD was doing in the US. Trying to get the product in the UK, it was expensive, it was slow, there wasn't many options. So we spotted the opportunity for getting involved in the CBD industry at that point. We started the business with just £3,000. We built the website cbdoilsuk.com ourselves, and we actually started as a distributor for Endoka. So we spent half the money on stock from Endoka, and the other half was for SEO and website templates. We bought the stock, we sold it. We bought the stock, we sold it. Within a few months, the report that the telephone calls, the emails that were coming from customers were just absolutely mind-blowing. And it was then we realized that everything we were reading online was really true about CBD and how effective it was for helping people. So that's when we developed the Love Hemp brand, and we launched that in the summer of 2015. And yeah, the rest is history, but that's how the company was originally incepted.
Cool. And then tell me about the journey, right? I guess you had probably thought about going international as well. Why did you not expand into other markets?
Yeah, so to bring it back, the first couple of years we just stayed as an e-com business online, and we organically built it to a couple £1 million in revenue, and it was just such an incredible product, and we had that first mover advantage, so we were fortunate in that situation. And then in 2017, that's when we made the leap into high street retail. So we invested that money into bringing on a dedicated sales team. We also developed Love Hemp Water, which was Europe's first CBD infused water, and we got that listing in Ocado in early 2018. And it was a big win for us, but it was a big win for the industry because it was the first CBD product to go into an actual grocer. You know, everyone has to buy food online or in a store, but not everyone needs to go to independent, like boutique stores. Mm-hmm. So for us, it was important to bring CBD to the face of people rather than people having to find CBD themselves. And following year, we acquired listings with Sainsbury's, Holland and Barrett, really positioned ourselves as a UK leader. And that's when we were acquired by World High Life. We became a wholly owned subsidiary of the public listed company. And the reason we did that was because we realised we couldn't organically build the business anymore. Wanting to be a global leader and really cement our UK leadership position, we needed access to capital, and we needed access to the corporate expertise. We wanted to do that global launch. We wanted to do it in a big way. So that's what the joining of forces with World High Life allowed us. Obviously, the pandemic hit. So last year, the global plans we had to put on hold. But we put huge focus into the online side of the business, and it was still a very successful year. We increased the revenue year on year last year, despite the lockdowns. And now that we're coming out of COVID and we're able to raise money, we've just raised £7 million for a recent financing. We're ready for the global launch. We've aligned ourselves with the UFC, which is something we've been working on for the last 6 or 7 months. And yeah, it just goes to show how serious we are, that we're ready to take on what we call the big boys of the US.
Awesome. How did the deal with the UFC came about? I mean, this is such an amazing deal, and it truly puts you on the global platform, yeah?
So we've been working in the MMA space for some years now. We've sponsored over 100 fighters over the last few years. Georges St. Pierre, the UFC, recently voted greatest of all time, has been our ambassador for a year and a half. So we've been engaged with the UFC for some time. The opportunity was, we became aware of the opportunity for the potential for a global partnership just after summer last year. And yeah, we went for it with full force, and here we are today.
Cool. And I guess obviously there were different challenges through the last 4 or 5 years of your career and your business. What are the biggest challenges right now?
Regulation is still a challenge in the sense that it slows us down. You still can't get a regular bank account, a regular payment processor. As you want to move into new territories, there's a lot of time and energy wasted on importation and different marketing regulations and whatnot. So that's definitely a challenge. In regards to the industry itself, it's come so far in the last few years. A few years ago, you could ask someone, have you heard of CBD? And chances are they've never heard of it. But now, when you speak to people about CBD, they definitely know about it, or at least a good majority of them have tried it. So it's a fantastic time, especially when you compare it to a few years ago. And I still feel the industry is very much in its infancy stage. So an incredibly, incredibly exciting time.
And in terms of growth drivers, right? And I guess tools you can use to sell. Obviously, you mentioned online, you mentioned retail. If you would to say online, is it still a lot about your own brand and branded traffic, or are you working a lot, as you said, with kind of influencers from the UFC space, doing SEO, doing potentially digital ads? What do you think are the main drivers for your growth?
Yeah, so online, really aggressive performance marketing strategy. So utilizing pay-per-click, SMS messaging, email marketing is incredibly successful for us. We're very big with affiliates and also influencers because of the limitations around you can't run pay-per-click as you would a normal business.
Yeah.
So that's in regards to obtaining new traffic or new customers and retaining them. In respect of obtaining new retail listings, which is a huge focus for the business now, that's where things like the UFC are going to come in a very big way. When you speak to a retailer, they're interested in two things, which is how much support are you going to give us in store so that people purchase the product, and how much support is going to be outside of the store so people recognize your brand. So there's a big focus on above the line marketing campaigns. But through the course of this year, we want to compound that with television, billboards, buses, this type of traditional marketing that we've never done before.
And have you tried retargeting and native ads?
We have tried retargeting and native ads, yeah, and that's done pretty well for us.
Okay, cool. And now you also mentioned you're going to go not only to the US but other markets as well, other international markets. Where do you see the biggest potential after the US and the UK?
So right now we're targeting 6 countries by the end of the year to have domestic distribution. We've got a big focus on Asia. We've got a very keen eye on Japan. Thailand have just recently legalized. Between those 2 countries, a population of 200 million. So a huge consumer base, and both very big on herbal remedies, where CBD fits in perfectly. And we are also looking at Germany and the Netherlands. That's our shortlist, right?
And could you tell us a bit more about your plans to uplist to the London Stock Exchange?
Yes, so we're finally in a position to uplist to the main board, which will be the standard on the LSE. We've literally just started the process this week after we closed our financing round on Monday. We're anticipating it will take 4 to 5 months. But yeah, really, really exciting time to be uplisting. And, just having the stock more easily accessible and more liquid to where we are now on the Aquis. We really feel it will support the movement of the stock price upwards.
Awesome. And in terms of trends, what are your top 3 trends for 2021, 2022?
I think the topicals and the cosmetic side of the CBD industry is going to be moving at pace. It's really starting to find its place now. We're seeing a lot of like pain type roll-ons and creams, and from the data that we've seen, they've been selling incredibly popular. So I think that will continue, especially as CBD starts to find its way more into professional sports. Obviously, the UFC have opened its doors. There's been a lot of talk with the NFL. So yeah, supporting professional athletes with topicals, I think, is going to be a big element as well. But you know, you can't just, you know, for me, the ingestible oil drops, for me, that will always be the timeless centerpiece of the CBD industry.
Cool. I saw quite a few brands rolling out non-CBD product lines, or, you know, mix and matching some of their products with adding other ingredients. Are you planning to do something like that as well?
Yeah, so we recently launched a range of botanical non-CBD products under the brand name Life Plus. So that's definitely, you know, as a CBD company, we're a wellness company. I think a lot of other CBD companies are taking that holistic approach to wellness. And CBD is fantastic, but it definitely is about the entourage effect. And not necessarily just with cannabinoids, as in with other nutrients that support it. You know, in the US, you can't do it in the UK, but, you know, melatonin and CBD, what an incredible combo for a sleep formula. So, yeah, there's definite purpose and place for types of vitamins and key compounds to be sold alongside ranges with the CBD brands, and something that we will look to move into as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And yeah, looking forward to see you again.